afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, let's jump to the good stuff. And that is that the Supremes came down with the first uh, ruling in a number of years on landmark for solidifying gun rights, i.e.,
Uh-huh.
New York State Rifle and Pistol versus Bruin. And this was one that New York State tried to get out of by changing the laws before it got in front of the court, and the court went, not so fast.
No.
And it was 6-3. And this is a classic because we all know the reason that New York had a shall issue,
May issue.
or may issue, I'm sorry, may issue, is because the only way you got a gun permit in New York is money or friends.
Some animals being more equal than others.
Some pigs more equal than others. And of course, the left did a scathing, I say, rebuttal of the decision.
Oh, the three
Yeah.
three communist judges.
However, Justice Alito slapped the hell out of him,
Out of Breyer.
out of Breyer specifically. And I have to read this. It'll take a minute, but I've got to read this. Why, for example, does the dissent think it is relevant to recount the mass shootings that have occurred in recent years? Does the dissent think that laws like New York's prevent or deter such atrocities? Will a person bent on carrying out a mass shooting be stopped if he knows that it's illegal to carry a gun outside the home? And how does the dissent account for the fact that one of the mass shootings near the top of its list took place in Buffalo? The New York law at issue in this case obviously did not stop that perpetrator. What is the relevance of statistics about the use of guns to commit suicide? See post at 5-6. Does the dissent think that a lot of the people who possess guns in their homes will be stopped or deterred from shooting themselves if they cannot lawfully take them outside? The dissent cites statistics about the use of guns in domestic disputes. See post at 5. But it does not explain why these statistics are relevant to the question presented in the case. How many of the cases involve the use of a gun in a domestic dispute occur outside the home, and how many are prevented by laws like New York's? Which is a damn good point.
Oh, whoo!
The police cannot disarm every person who acquires a gun for the use of criminal activity, nor can they provide bodyguard services for the state's 20 million residents or the 8.8 million who live in New York City. Some of these people live in high crime neighborhoods. Some must traverse the dark and dangerous streets in order to reach their homes after work or other evening activities. Some are members of groups whose members feel especially vulnerable. Can we say Jewish folks? And some of those people have reasons to believe that unless they can brandish or, if necessary, use a handgun in the case of an attack, they may be murdered, raped, or suffer other serious injury. And he added one more shot.
Right across it.
Yeah, right across
Shot
the bow.
over.
And while the dissent seemingly thinks that the ubiquity of guns in our country's high level of gun violence provide reasons for sustaining the New York law, the dissent appears not to understand that it is these very facts that are causing law-abiding citizens to feel the need to carry a gun in self-defense.
Booyah!
Yes. Shoved it up them and broke it off.
Oh, and how?
That's beautiful.
And there went the peanut gallery. Yeah, there are...
The meltdowns, the lamentations of the women has been especially
yes,
satisfying.
it has been absolutely perfect.
Yeah, the Olbermann, who isn't, Olbermann and sane don't, Keith Olbermann and the word sane don't belong in the same sentence, but he has really lost his marbles.
Yep. And Rick, that's a good point. Uvalde, we still
Oh, Jesus.
do not have an accurate timeline for Uvalde.
No, but what we're getting just looks worse and worse
it looks
and
worse
worse.
and worse. And apparently the school's chief of police has now been suspended. Gee, what a surprise.
I was hoping for indicted, but
Yeah.
suspended's good too.
It's a start.
It's a start.
And yes, Dawn, you're supposed to take care of yourself, so stop that shit. Farm girl has managed to come down with COVID yet again.
Stop doing that.
So, in other news, we have plenty of other news.
Oh, I would like to make one very quiet, off the wall statement, and I will take no questions.
You should show off your shirt too.
Let me get out of range.
Well, no. While we were at LibertyCon, in addition to the Bollywood wedding, the MMA competition, and the bodybuilding competition, apparently that particular hotel was ground zero for a bunch of flight crews.
Yeah.
And one was coming through Saturday, and the cussing was chef's kiss. So I asked the pilot what the issue was, and they had landed in Chattanooga, and his co-pilot had fainted. So of course they haul co-pilot off. He developed a heart condition,
He's not the first one.
and apparently got deadlined immediately. So that plane couldn't go anywhere if they shipped him a new co-pilot. Wow.
1,700 flights canceled on Friday and Saturday alone. And they were claiming that was for weather. But talking to a number of flight crews, it in fact was not weather. It's the fact that
They don't have enough bodies.
they have so many people going down for heart issues under the age of 50, not only pilots, but also flight attendants. And he is trying to show off his shirt.
Yes. I'm trying to pick out. There's the SLR. There's another SLR. Yes.
Rogue, he was apparently jabbed 3 times. That's what the pilot said. So he had the first 2 plus the booster.
But that entire flight, that was people needing to leave Chattanooga that till they got a new co-pilot ship. And apparently there aren't that many pilots to go around.
Nope.
Spares are hard to come by.
Well, our entire crew out of Chattanooga coming back to Dallas was all reserve board. So that was 2 pilots and 3 flight attendants were all reserve board.
Oh.
But they were going, yes, we got a day off.
Right. Oh, LibertyCon was. Did we do a LibertyCon breakdown Tuesday?
Yes,
I can't remember.
None of us remember it. There's still more to talk about.
you were here.
I'm pretty sure I was. I just.
Said something about the current problems with flight crews and staffing go back to regulation change in 2014.
That's part of it, but
Well, and the jab, obviously.
yeah, the jab is the main part. And Dawn may be sick, but she's not lost her sense of humor.
Dawn is.
On a
She's
roll today.
feisty today.
Yeah, you're still in shock from so much
No
people.
kidding. And stuff went on that was.
Yeah, Rick, this is actually black, not blue, even though it looks blue on the screen for some reason.
Just charcoal gray.
Yeah. And no, we haven't flipped the
We're not gonna.
quilt to make it to Japanese lanterns it's supposed to be.
We're not gonna.
The wrong direction.
You
It
can,
looks cool.
you can buy it and it'll be TIE fighters, whatever.
Buy it and switch. If you buy it, you get to hang it the right way.
Or hang it any way you want to.
I'm just saying.
I do have a bit of a rant about hanging things.
Please do.
Friggin' Air Force.
Keep their toes out of the soup. Oh wait.
Not politicians, huh?
We're doing a benefit barbecue this weekend for the American Legion Post. And we have a couple of former Air Force people, ex-Air Force, they want to be in charge.
Airedales.
That was your first mistake. They just want to sit around and drink cold drinks and point at things.
Ding! You and the Cupid doll.
I'm Navy. I get this.
They want to be large and in charge. Well,
They're not large.
it comes down to actually
In any
doing
shape or
stuff.
form.
And the same 5 of us that have been rebuilding that post for the last 3 years are having to pick up the slack and do everything else. And I'm just tired of it. I mean, we sat around this morning in an hour and threw together swag bags for these folks by calling in multiple favors, including get stuff donated on an hour's notice, just so we could give something to the cooks that are there for the competition. And it is a competition for the cookers. They get points toward a national standing, so
Oh, sweet.
it'll be fairly interesting. But it's just, it's a typical pattern we see with the locals. They want all the credit, take none of the responsibility, and about half the time don't want to do a damn bit of the work.
Army knuckle dragger, preaching to the choir
Hey, get your ass to work.
here. Preaching to the choir. In other news,
Yeah, I know, Brennan. Well, you're no longer Air Force, so
in-
You've seen the lights
yeah, he has seen the light.
and
Yeah.
retirement.
The great PX. In other news, the next massive peopling event will be FinCon.
AJ, that is perfect.
What?
AJ
They're
Decker.
going to SoonerCon this weekend. Those two.
Oh, so
AJ
They're
Decker
crazy.
nailed you.
it's what?
AJ Decker nailed you.
We should be committed. That's the problem.
Okay, if you were at LibriCon or the upcoming FinCon, meet me in person, realize that they're not that white.
Yeah, they are.
Shut up. Shut up. They're not that white. I wore shorts all weekend long.
Okay, we're gonna have a PC right leg contest.
Yes, because
I have sunburn. I am no longer PC white.
yes, because you will win that one because my legs they're tanned. Getting there. Don't look at me like that. As far as the new gun rights cake posters, we are
They are selling like hotcakes.
well, the ladies are Rita and Jonna and Courtney are investigating how to send them out, how to mail them
Plans next week.
cost effectively.
Yeah, we've got it figured out. We just can't. We don't have the supplies yet. So
I am corrected. Apparently, they've got it figured out. They're just waiting on supplies, and we will be able to mail out posters
yeah, end of next week.
end of next week. If you're going to be at Jim's little soiree on Saturday, the posters will be there for sale. Also at FinCon, we will have some at FinCon.
Yep.
Also,
If we have any left, probably have to order some more.
apparently, I stumbled in on a conversation. There's going to be some pretty impressive swag coming down the pike. Y'all might want to keep an eye on
When we
us.
get there.
When we get there, y'all might want to keep an eye on this spot. There's going to be some fairly impressive swag coming.
My only question is how much is it going to cost us?
From what I'm seeing, initial outlay is going to be okay, and the return is going to be damn.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. The biggest crime of 2020 was keeping everybody inside all summer. Yep.
Oof.
Yep.
Because that literally, that's an excellent point, actually, Rick. Because vitamin D is one of the things that breaks up COVID.
And it just generally it helps. Don't know some vitamin D. There's this. I was perusing a study from a fairly distinguished teaching university. Said it may not actually be the vitamin D. The vitamin D is just a marker. It may just be sunlight. Period.
Yeah.
It's definitely good. It's definitely good for your emotional health, which was something that was kind of rocky during the whole, emotional health when you're confined under house arrest during a pandemic. Emotional health is kind of important there.
Yeah.
And getting sunlight is apparently a decent amount of sunlight is good for your emotional health. Fancy that.
I'm sorry, Cedar, I misread that.
What?
I misread her
Oh, I did
comment.
too. I did too. Forgot the IT. Didn't see the IT, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, there are, I am not going down that path. No.
During the summer, when I'm not freezing my tchotchkes off, I like to try to get outside just wearing a pair of shorts for at least 20 minutes in the morning, just for noon, to try to build up, and it makes me feel a lot better. It makes the melancholia
Yeah.
much less.
Yeah, UV does kill viri. And yes, getting exercise does reduce the comorbidities. The problem is, yeah, some people cannot tan, Cedar being one of them, Ian being another.
Hey, see, tan. Don't look at me like that.
Less pale, but not tan.
Yeah,
Less pale is by definition tan.
Tell yourself whatever you need to.
yes.
That's such a supporting
Yeah,
social
Rick,
group, a supportive social
living in
group.
SoCal, you're in shorts 10 months of the year. If it gets below 70, you have to dig out the parka. You laugh. I've seen that
No,
in San
so did I. I
Diego in the
lived in
winter.
LA.
I've seen it, Itchy Paw Falls.
Yeah,
I got the ugliest looks for wearing a t-shirt when it was in the 50s.
Yeah.
Put on shorts in the 40s.
Okay, that's a little nuts. A little.
well, and then you get the Icelanders who button up the shirt when it's 0.
True.
True.
So yeah, fat cells. Yeah,
Oh, speaking of working out, good Lord, I went to the gym Wednesday, and Rita wasn't at LibertyCon, so I was stressed out. And people plus Rita, plus I may have mentioned this. I don't remember the Tuesday cast at all. I mean, zero memory. Squirrels, glow sticks. This was the first con where I actually felt like a professional. I had some people that I really little gobsmacked by treating me like a peer, which was really odd.
Yep.
Really odd.
yeah. AJ, that's a good point. The ficus and chief said today
Yeah.
there's another pandemic coming.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the question is, will it hit before November the 2nd this year?
Oh yeah. They got to justify the vote by mail
Yeah.
somehow.
But I was stressed out because of Rita, stressed out because people, stressed out because these people whose names I've seen on bookshelves in stores were talking to me like a peer. I was stressed out. Wasn't getting a whole night. What sleep I was getting wasn't great. And my rather carefully controlled diet went to pot.
Yeah.
I went in the gym Wednesday and oh my God, holy gods, that was ugly. I'm going to have to work my way back up again.
One of the interesting things, talking about being pale. Now, submariners are pale. I mean, the normal day they look about that color, regardless of what color they're supposed to be. They see sunlight once every 2 months.
Right.
But what is absolutely hilarious, especially in Hawaii, is all the Alaskans that come down for 2 weeks at a time in the winter. And you can always tell what day of the stay they're on, because the first day they are
Shade of
pale
pink.
as a sheet. The second day they're pink. By the third day, they're about the color of a red solo cup. And by about the 5th day, they start peeling. And then they're back out there again, because the normally heard refrain is, by God, I'm going to go home with a tan.
We're gonna go home looking like a tomato.
Yeah, exactly.
Lobster.
Well, for Hawaii, for Alaska in the winter, that's a tan. Yeah, Hawaii normally is about, the coldest it gets over there is about 72. Yeah, Rick Casper failed. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no kidding.
But the other thing we're talking about doing on the anthologies. Oh, I have to make one statement on the Honda Library anthology. That is temporarily delayed because RK, who is assisting with the editing, her computer died. So
That's no good.
yeah, we have a slight setback on that. We do have a cover, thanks to Courtney. It's a very nice cover.
I want the one with Law Dog on it.
Yeah.
That might be a special edition.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can sell that as swag.
Yes.
Yes, we can, as a matter of fact.
You didn't have to agree quite so quickly.
I have plans. We'll make it into a sticker.
Didn't have-
And this is why you don't do anthologies, people.
Speaking of doing anthologies,
We should talk about the new one this morning.
what?
What?
I did not commit any of you to it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, the HP Holo.
Yeah. One of our friends who had a thought after LibertyCon, which
Which a bad
We
idea.
had so many thoughts after.
Yeah. She is the one that blew up the panel at Fantasy, which is still being talked about,
Oh yeah,
Cats are buddies.
that's a legend.
and I'm still getting laughed at.
Legend.
But anyway, she came up with an idea for a new anthology for writers to order pizza.
Like David Weber.
Inspired by the David Weber thing. David Weber orders a pizza. She has an idea for authors as themselves, much like the David Weber ordering a pizza.
Yeah.
And since I'm best known for combat scenes, I'm not sure I can do that one.
Wouldn't it be funnier to do another author? Like you trade
Oh,
Oh,
Jim Curtis orders a pizza as Law Dog. As an example. Wouldn't that be fun?
3 days trying to make a decision.
oh,
Jim Curtis. He runs around to everybody, talks to all of them, gets all their preferences, and orders every single pizza.
Twice.
Twice.
Just in case.
It's
the things I get accused of.
accused hell.
Be a social butterfly.
Accused hell. Speaking of, I had an idea. I need to talk to stop. I need to talk to LibertyCon about doing a panel next LibertyCon Anthology 101. So you want to do an anthology, you poor dumb bastard.
Better known as the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So
John Ringo doesn't order a pizza; it just mysteriously appears.
Three novels that took everybody else to
Yeah, it'll be a 40,000 words done in 12 hours.
and pizza for a battalion.
Jim, you've resorted to legitimate skullduggery to pay for breakfast before somebody else can. She has a point.
That's only been going on for about 15 years, Don. So
Only.
Oh, it's been going on for a lot longer than that. It's just been you've been doing it for us for 15 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great, Jason. Fabulous. Coloring book where the visual artists of North Texas troublemakers create Hawaiian shirts for Jim and Ian. Coloring their own Hawaiian shirts. I love it.
That's the ticket to get into the room party at FenCon.
Oh my God.
Steph,
Design a Hawaiian shirt.
Brennan, step one, get hammered. It ain't wrong. But I was apparently Hillbilly from Three Ravens got law dogged Saturday night because apparently he got drunk and agreed to an anthology.
Yeah.
And didn't find out about it till Sunday.
Koala, the brighter the better.
Yes, we need a new art show. That will be the art show.
That'll be the art show.
The art show will be the
But I'm thinking if I can get LibertyCon to agree to an anthology 101, because apparently anthologies are going things all of a sudden. Everybody wants to do anthologies. More power to them. That means I don't have to do them. Anyway,
I can tell them how to screw it up.
so I was figuring I can put Hillbilly, who he's with Three Ravens, Courtney, who Raconteur Press, Jim, and Cedar, and
We have to get her there first.
hush, we're working on that.
We'll get her there.
Cedar, you didn't hear that. So that way I can be the moderator and, to quote several people in this room, just stand there and look pretty and
Cedar-
ask the actual working people how to do an anthology.
Cedar, you left out a word, running away from.
I like that. Brennan, step one, get hammered.
Yeah.
It's like he knows us.
Yeah. Rick, the preponderance of shirts at LibertyCon were not real Hawaiian shirts.
It doesn't have to be.
I maybe saw 3 people actually wearing real Hawaiian shirts there.
There were a lot of Space Bank shirts.
Yeah.
Yes, there were.
Love Space Bank. So
Aloha shirts. I mean, and I like the new trend towards aloha shirts and kilts. That's
that's been going on
that's
for
just
30 some odd years.
chef's kiss.
I can say I do not argue about that at all.
How will you
There were
would.
several very fetching kilts. So, on very fetching men.
Yeah.
So something I'm suggesting for the masquerade next year is during the halftime when we have to go off and judge, that we have a Hawaiian shirt competition.
Yes.
Yes, so judged by celebrity judges. So kilts and sachet add points.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Sanford, the reason mine are less garish than everybody else's is mine are actually Hawaiian shirts. Yes, Evelyn, depending on where you buy them, they are very expensive. However, in the Navy Exchange in Pearl Harbor, the $150 Tory Richard Hawaiian shirts are $25.
I wear loud aloha print shirts for a very good reason, which if you ever had a drink with me and asked me, I've probably told you, but there's a good reason for loud print aloha shirts. From at a time in my past I don't do anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to know what you're looking for. And the classic old Hawaiian shirts, rain spooners that are, yeah, that's another good one.
I just like aloha print that's loud.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Aloha print that's loud.
But the real ones, you know, you can go back and they're now finding some that are coming out of the woodwork
yeah,
from the 30s and 40s
stunningly beautiful.
that are beautiful, very muted prints, but they're like $3,000 a shirt. And that's the cheap ones.
Just give me a loud aloha
Yeah.
print shirt. I don't care. I don't care about authentic. I gives less than one damn about how authentic it is. Just needs to be loud, break up the any angular outlines under my shirt,
Yeah, exactly. Ken.
attract attention so I can ditch it if I need to.
Yeah, Cedar, the old ones were actually not inside out. They were purposely printed muted. So they printed them on linen from the inside and it bled through. And that was actually the style back in the 30s and 40s.
Okay, so this whole muted thing.
Yeah.
1940s shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stunningly beautiful.
See, I'd wear that.
That's it.
Well, not all of them were muted.
Not all of them. You guys want to show that?
Yeah.
See? Isn't that gorgeous?
I'd wear that.
I love that. That print's amazing.
Yes, Doug, we are working on at least looking at Fool's Con for next year.
Because the number of people that asked me about it was just,
Let it come.
oh my God.
Yeah, we've got to figure out dates that are not going to bounce against other things.
We should know about a hotel contract this weekend so we can make sure we're not on the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, we have time. We have time. We have plenty of time to set up Fool's Con because apparently we're not going to be given a choice whether we have one or not.
I have been told that. Yes. Worst mistake I ever friggin' made.
We warned you. We did.
I did it one time.
Uh-huh.
And you did it so well.
Well, the point was everyone had so much fun being able to just not have to go to panels.
And then people started talking about it.
And then we drank a lot.
And then famous people walk up to me at LibertyCon and say, when's the next Fool's Con? How do I get an invitation?
You ask nicely and you bring a lot of booze. And you don't expect any of us to work.
Yeah.
Certain famous people don't even need to bring booze.
Right?
And you know,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, one of them, I'd be there, about to be in Czechoslovakia that weekend. Motherfucker.
Well, I mean, it depends on the dates too. You may be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don, that's, I should have thought about what y'all have gone through.
And run screaming for the hills.
Yeah.
I
But-
know nothing.
Everybody was just so friggin' down, and
Right.
that was the reason we did it.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought it'd be a one time, the pandemic would be over with, everything back to normal. We don't have to do this anymore. And everybody went, when's the next one? Seriously?
Well, it's the same thing with this friggin' live stream.
No shit.
This was going to be, when the
Uh-huh.
pandemic's over, we're done.
Uh-huh.
Now in our third year.
This
Three?
is the show that never
Three?
ends.
This is the third year?
2019, 2020, 2021.
Yeah, you
Son of
guys
a
started
bitch it
this when
is.
I was working at the hospital, and I was like, Tuesdays and
I
Thursdays
thought it was the
were
second year.
so incredibly important.
No, we're in
thought it
our
was the
third
second
year. Time flies. And we're not having fun.
Like a freaking hummingbird.
Time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana.
And apparently we're not allowed to end this one either.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, this is 2022. Yeah. We do everything wrong.
We're halfway through 2022.
Uh,
How did that
speaking of doing things right,
The glow stick got lost at least 5 minutes ago.
speaking of doing things right,
Glow stick.
Larry and Steve Diamond,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Writer's Dojo.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, folks,
Oh, ghost for that.
if you want to write, you want to learn how to write correctly, and you want good advice in the general sense and the overall sense of how to do the business of writing, go listen to Writer's Dojos, Larry and Steve Diamond.
Absolutely.
Cedar, you seriously planned your date around this? I blame you.
How did, what the?
Guys, when I'm in Denver, I put this on in the background so I'm home.
At
Oh.
least she's no longer calling Denver home.
You ain't right, girl.
We've known that for a while.
Well, that's true.
And you wonder why
She moved here.
Yeah.
She moved here. We know she ain't right.
Yeah. 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 Cool. It's a Soylent Green year. And actually it is, because 2022 was the year that Soylent Green
Yep.
was supposed to take place.
Yep.
And we now have Soylent Green as a product.
Yeah, that was either really poor market research or excellent market research. I'm not sure which.
I'm voting for excellent.
I laughed my ass off when I had to stop it at work. It was hysterical.
Yeah. Yes, Evelyn, you will be invited.
Well, and given all the food production facilities that have been bombed out in the last year.
Yeah, well, they're claiming that now is normal. That all those accidents happen every year. We just didn't know about it.
Sure.
20 in a year, 20 plus in a year.
Pull the other one.
Yeah,
2 a
Yeah.
month.
And
Three-
none of them
3 a
have
month.
working fire retardant systems. None of them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
3
Sure.
a month. I'm
There's
pretty
a cat
sure-
riding a unicorn shooting environment. It's close enough for government work, Koala.
If 3 food production facilities burning down every month for years was an actual thing, we wouldn't have any food production facilities anymore.
Exactly.
Not only that, it was a wonderful thing to blame Trump for.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Yep, it's definitely not normal. Sanford Fool Con is capped, yes, at a low number. Yes, for a reason. Because I can't afford a bigger space.
Don't
Jeez.
say that.
Huh?
Oh, now you've blown it.
And the crowdfunding campaign begins.
Woo!
Just shoot me now, put me out of my misery.
You know that's how this works.
Yeah, the kill offs. Yeah, the kill offs have been a huge problem. And we're starting to see that again with the beef.
Yeah.
Because they can't feed him because all the product is getting used for other stuff.
All the beef feed, feedlots feed corn.
Yep.
To fatten up the beef before it goes. And if all the corn's been dumped into ethanol, there's none left to go to the feedlots.
And that's the other thing. They want to raise the ethanol and gas to 15%.
Way to destroy my car.
Exactly.
Right?
Because most vehicles, unless they are specifically designed for flex fuel, cannot burn 15% ethanol without coming apart. Because it does not give you the power. It eats all your rubber seals. It destroys your fuel injection system.
I need to.
No, Doug, they cannot eat the mash residue because
From
It's-
ethanol, all
Right.
the food value goes out into the ethanol.
and also because it's a different type of corn, it cannot be used for foodstuffs unless it is reprocessed with formaldehyde. And there's not enough of that to go around.
Speaking of Hawaiian shirts, I got that pink and black one I wear. The black with the pink stuff on it is a retro rifle. And honestly, when I first got it, I wasn't too happy about it. But it was the loudest thing I had, so of course it went to LibertyCon. That was actually at LibertyCon a very comfortable shirt. I need
Yeah.
to get more of those.
Yep.
And they're
And-
obnoxious.
Cameron, that is correct. Moisture gets pulled in too because ethanol is hydrophilic. Yeah, I can say that word. Cowboy cat riding a shark in space. Why not?
Randomly, did I try the coffee? Not yet. Matter of fact, they're right over there. I'll be trying it tomorrow morning.
Yeah. The coffee has been donated to the blanket fort.
The
Yes.
blanket fort. I'm going to be trying the cowboy or the law dog coffee, but because of course I'm going to be trying it with my coffee tomorrow morning.
Cowboy cat riding a T-Rex. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be buying some obnoxious. I've decided. I talked to Rita, and about every second royalty payment I get is going to a really obnoxious Hawaiian shirt.
I don't need any more. I got a freaking closet full of real ones.
I need them.
Yeah.
Just because I can go down the escalator at LibertyCon and have people scream,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
"My eyes!"
Well, between that and your legs,
My legs are fine.
Gonder calls for aid.
When my freckles link up, I'm gonna have a tan you're going to be jealous of.
Yeah, you've been saying that for how many years have I known
Hush.
you now?
Hush. They're linking. They're linking.
Yeah.
Sort
Yeah.
of.
Rick, that's a good point. Old cars, not so much. And the problem is you can no longer get the lead
Additive.
additives that you really need for the old cars to keep them from burning up.
Well, most of the old cars aren't there anymore. Due to cash for clunkers.
Well, I'm talking about the classics that people have spent years and thousands upon thousands of dollars restoring. And now they're going to be in a situation where they can't drive them.
Yeah.
Which is,
Sad.
that's the reason a lot of people own the old cars. Now, granted, there are, and I encountered this when I was doing car shows, the trailer queens, just like the safe queens in the gun world, that never come out except for shows. We did one concours show out in California back in '97, I guess, and I got roped into judging it with Richard McHugh, better known as Mr. Magoo, the painter, and we caused some hate and discontent because we gave the grand prize to the 1963 Jaguar XKE in British Racing Green with the tan leather interior that was driven to the show by a 65-year-old couple who then detailed the car for the show.
Okay.
And if you've ever been around concours judging, it's a pain in the butt to do because you judge the entire car, top and bottom.
Okay.
Which means you got to get down on your knees with a mirror and under the car and under the seats and under everything. The car that lost was a Ferrari Trailer Queen done by a former professional musician whose company did that for shows. The owner was so pissed that he got in the car, burned out, and left the trailer sitting there and fired the guy that had done the detailing. The other thing is the amount of money that you can spend to have a car professionally detailed. One of our group won the National Hot Rod of the Year with his 1937 LaSalle. And it was going to be the cover car for the National Hot Rod magazine. So they paid for him to go have it detailed to go to a professional automotive photographer there in LA. And Classy down in Torrance, California did it. $3,000 detail job. You could eat off the bottom of the car, much less the top. But it took them 3.5 weeks to detail that car out. But it was a black on black lacquer car. And by the time they got through with it, that paint looked like it was 18 inches deep.
That's a level of obsession that I'm not going anywhere near.
Well,
That's less than $1,000 a week for the detail job, though.
yeah. Well, Rich had owned that car for 30 years, and he had over $200,000 in it because he had rebuilt it 3 different times. Kelly Eads.
Oh, Lord.
Kelly and his family have an original one owner 1964 and a half Mustang. 260 V8 automatic with air. One of 125 built. Kelly has restored that car twice. And the last restoration was done a couple of years ago. And he was cussing the amount of problems he was having finding OEM parts.
Not a surprise.
Yeah, it's really not a surprise. You watched your 2001 S10 once, yeah.
Not seeing an issue here. It's a pickup.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse, we know about your silica.
Well, it's Rita's dad. Whenever he bought a pickup, he'd go home, go in the garage, get a rubber mallet, and put a dent in a rear quarter panel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only problem with junkyards being your friend, Brennan, is when you start getting into the older cars, it's no longer parts in a junkyard. You're going to pay large dollars for that.
Oh! I remember what we were going to do.
Okay.
A friend of ours, Dennis Badgerino.
Only took 45 minutes.
Yeah, squirrels, glow stick. He used to own Dragon Leather
Don't
Works.
send us any friggin' glow sticks, okay?
We have it. We have glow sticks. We don't need more.
Of course we do.
We have glow necklaces
You
too,
hush.
I think.
Really?
Yes.
Dennis Badgerino used to own Dragon Leather.
Not at the party.
Dragon Leather Works used to make really good holsters.
That.
I don't think he makes holsters anymore.
No.
Damn it. He used to make really good holsters. His brother has decided to break into the self-publishing world. So if you would do us a favor and show him some love, we would appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a short story.
It's a short story. It's his very first time ever. And
So be gentle.
be gentle with him, but show him some love, okay? Where was I?
I don't know.
Glow sticks.
Yeah, Joel, a friend of ours that was in the Impala Club with us, actually owns Trim Parts. He bought all of the original molds from Chevrolet and Ford and Dodge. Spent well over $1 million. But he has all of the original product molds for all of the trim pieces. Now, if you really want to go nuts with it,
Where the hell did glow in the dark pickles come from?
well, I wonder if we can break one, dribble it on the pickles, and let Ian try to eat one. See if he glows in the dark from the inside.
So what I'm hearing is we need to have somebody at Chernobyl send us some pickles.
Rob beat you to it. Yep. Oh,
New record. We broke Jim. Sweet.
yeah. The car world gets interesting. You can spend as little or as much as you want to do show cars, and a number of the more reasonable, and I use that term loosely, reasonable and rational people will try to keep cars more or less original. Actually, in the Corvette world, there are cars that are called Survivors, and they're original Corvettes that have not been Krasnovian pickles.
Padini's a genocide.
But these Survivors bring large dollars because they are original, down to the paint. And, they'll show up at a car show and they've got chip paint, and everybody goes, damn, that's original. That paint job's 60 years old. Son of a bitch. But one of the tricks, and again, I'll use this as an example, a trick for figuring out whether a Corvette's been repainted or not is you look at the bottom of the rocker panel. If it has paint, if it's completely painted, it's a repaint. Because in the 60s and early 70s, they were painted by hand. And the painters were getting fat and old, and they couldn't bend over far enough to paint the entire rocker panel. So that's close enough. It's little tricks like that you learn in the business. But talking about trim pieces, Bob McHugh, better known as Mr. Magoo, found out he could sell his paint daubers where he daubed the paint to do his trim work. And he was selling those damn paint boards for $3,000 a piece.
Boom.
Yeah. And he's going, shit, I spent 20 years throwing these son bitches away. But he painted trim on a 55 Chevrolet. And until you walked up and touched it, you could not tell that was not actually a piece of trim. He was that good. But he actually did stripes on my 95 Impala. But I had to show up at 6 o'clock in the morning because he said, if I'm going to do this shit, I cannot have any coffee first. And I love my coffee, so get here early. But he painted those in one continuous line with no support stick, no nothing, and they came out absolutely perfect.
That sort of precision handwork is just mind-boggling to me.
Oh yeah, it's worth its weight in gold. Yeah. Oh, Rick, we had one guy in the club the Impala Club, that owned widescreen audio. So he spent $10,000 putting the first Dolby 5 system in a vehicle in the United States. Filled his entire trunk and had a 10-inch screen in the dashboard. So yeah, high-end audiophiles can go nuts too.
No kidding.
I'm so damn deaf, I can barely hear myself, unless it's anybody else. Hush.
Oleg Volk, as he usually does, went through LibertyCon taking pictures of people because it's Oleg and that's what he does.
Yeah, you guys.
What?
How many Riveras? So.
Oh. That's Oleg. That's what he does. He took a picture of Larry looking pensive,
Yeah.
Which has now become the meme for Larryisms,
Yes.
and also the portrait on the $50,000 Krasnovian note.
Yeah, and if you have not been following the Larryisms, they are great. Larry throws some shade at a few people. And-
Rose. I mean, he launches it just like the biggest cannon in the room.
Yeah.
Rose.
Oleg is a skinny Russian Jew.
Yeah.
That's about in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
And that's skinny Russian Jew, glasses, big camera.
And he does some really great photography. Yeah, Brennan. Larry's fairly quotable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick, I've been around some of those people that played at the high end audio in LA, and they would spend more on speakers than I spent on cars. As a matter of fact, there's a guy here in town, in our little town, that does high end audio. That one of the things he does is repair $20,000 to $30,000 speakers that aren't working right. And he has a number of patents for various and sundry things. It looks like a skinny Gabe Kaplan without a mustache. Yes.
The hell. Oh, which reminds me, I've got to download that zip pack of all the pictures he took at LibertyCon.
I missed him.
Apparently they did too.
Yeah.
They won't next year.
No, I didn't miss him. I was standing right next to him multiple times.
Oh.
I never saw Oleg. Well, I saw him in passing and told Peter and Dot that he was not in Nashville because they were in Nashville to meet him.
He's made he generally is the semi unofficial photographer for the Bain authors at LibertyCon.
I don't know if the official photographer for the convention, Kenny, he was delightful.
Yeah.
He was a sneaky little shit.
I know.
He was very smooth.
He was sneaky.
And delightful.
I didn't get to talk to him. I was too busy dodging. Apparently, I didn't dodge well at all.
Yeah, Jesse, analog and digital, you get into a whole different world. And that's a
One of Oleg's nudes of me. There you go. Got Jim again.
I give.
Oh, squirrels were all dancing the same music that time. It's great when that happens.
I was trying to have a serious discussion and that went right out the window. Yeah, plausible deniability. Sure. Anyway, what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted.
Really interrupted if you're expecting it.
Yeah. My friend that does the high-end audio literally will not use power off the grid. He does.
It's dirty.
Yeah, he has his own battery system powering his tube amplifier that's probably worth damn near as much as my house is through very, very high-end stuff. And he literally does, he's on YouTube, he's got a YouTube channel just talking about audio. But he's here in our little town. And stuff gets shipped in from all over the world for him to fix.
He makes good money at it.
And he does.
One of my favorite ones.
I spent too many years dodging having my picture taken for a reason.
Yeah, no kidding. It's really odd letting people take my picture.
Yeah.
Speaking of Oleg, at St. Louis, the very first NRA convention I went to, Jim and I were up in the Jim and Rita and I were up in the media room because That was the first year, wasn't it? The NRA was blogs, was
Second
media.
year.
Second year.
Second year.
And there were some very nice young ladies that worked in the desk, and very, very professional. And then Oleg walked in, and it's like he walked in and said, "Hi, I'm Oleg Volk. I need to," and it's like,
Yeah.
how the man? Here is weird gun. Now take off clothes.
Yeah. And Oleg does not know how many guns he has. That's the problem. You know, people ship him guns, and it's like, oh, was I supposed to return that? 4 years later, he finds it
Finds it.
under the couch cushions.
Where'd this one come from?
You know, everybody
Oleg?
else is finding change. He's finding guns.
Yeah, gun bits.
Yeah.
Oleg? Really?
Cats play with them.
Yeah.
He has a type, and it's, that's good.
Yeah, Joel, that's exactly true. It's easier to clean up the grid power than what comes out of an inverter. Yeah, Rick, actually better than tequila.
Yeah, just Oleg get a camera.
Because
Here's the old gun. Now take off clothes.
because Oleg looks at them as models, not as sex symbols. So he's totally professional with the women. You know,
And he's Russian.
yeah, and he's Russian. Yeah, motor generators are how you get clean power, except I don't know too many people who've got motor generators laying around that'll generate clean enough power.
Like a Kawasaki generator?
Or the big Caterpillar generators, or
No.
you know, the big cat generators that we used on ships are amazingly good.
I was just the 10 kph Army generators were like,
Well, I mean, the cat generators we used on ships are plus or minus 1%.
wow.
But there are not that many of those things laying around loose. Plus, they're rather large and rather expensive. Yeah, Dawn, you've had your picture taken by Oleg a few times too.
Yeah, but she didn't shed any.
No, yeah, that's true, Rick. But you know, TGs do a pretty good job on the boats.
Is genset.
Yeah.
Find an E4 to fire it up and plug in. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Find an E4 to crank that bastard and then plug into it. That's gensets. That's all I know about gensets.
Yeah. Oh, I did have one funny one that occurred this morning. We were out scrounging up stuff for the swag bags. One of the guys here locally has a business. His son is a combat engineer
Uh-oh.
and was in the group that put the bridging in Poland a couple of weeks ago that made the news.
Really?
They got the bridging completed, installed, and the first vehicle went across in 13 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, internal explosion engines, not so much. Yes.
I'm guessing nukes are good for clean power.
Yes. Nukes are extremely good for clean power, among other things. Yeah, Rick, there was a lot of practice involved, and apparently it was a joint bridging exposition with the Swiss.
Oh,
So the Americans did half a bridge, Swiss did half a bridge. They slammed it together and went bang in position and started vehicles across.
oh, wow.
So that was rather impressive. He said his son basically went, "Hey, Daddy, you got to watch the news. I'm on the news."
Excellent.
What do you mean you're on the news? Well, just look, you'll see it.
Do I need to post bail?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you're like,
That's-
I'm on the news. I'll get the bail money.
yeah. No, that's only with our gang.
Yeah, no kidding.
And all right, folks, we've wasted another hour of your
Oh,
time.
we have.
thank you very much for putting up with our scattershot approach to live streaming.
Yeah, 3 years worth.
Yeah.
Y'all are some masochists or something.
Yes, there is that.
Need to recruit more.
Yeah. Well, Dawn, those puppies will not go away from you. You know that. Yeah,
Okay.
Rick, but who's got revenue grade inverters laying around loose? Thread drift
This
is
is
a way
where
of
like
life.
thread drift. We have to be sort of coherent or have drift.
Yeah, we don't have that.
We've never been coherent on this ever.
Yeah. All right, folks. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.